Welcome to the Unraveling the Scriptures channel. The Edomites were a Semitic people, direct descendants of Esau, Jacob's twin brother. They inhabited the mountainous region southeast of Israel in what is now Jordan, and formed a nation with a deep and complex history, marked by alliances and conflicts with the people of Israel. While many are familiar with the 12 tribes of Israel, little is mentioned about these close relatives, who were as genetically related to the Israelites as they were distant in many of their traditions and customs. Who were the Edomites? What were their beliefs, culture, and political alliances? And why, at certain times, were they allies and at others, fierce enemies of the Israelites? In this video, we dive into the fascinating history of Esau's descendants, exploring all these mysteries and uncovering little-known details about this people. Don't forget to like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Edomites, the story of Esau's descendants. When talking about the origins of Arab peoples, Ishmael is often mentioned as the most recognized ancestor. However, the truth is that he represents only part of the extensive ancestral mosaic of the various Arab populations. Ishmael fathered the 12 tribes known as Ishmaelite Arabs, but he was not the only one. Besides the Ishmaelites, there were also Edomite Arabs, Midianites, Ammonites, and Moabites, each with its own unique identity and history. The Edomites, for example, were descendants of Esau, Jacob's brother. In the Edomite language, Edom is pronounced Edom, while in Hebrew it is Edom, meaning red in both languages. In Phoenician and Akkadian, the word was pronounced Uduma or Udumi. This ancient kingdom was established in the region of Transjordan, bordered by Moab to the northeast, the Arabah to the west, and the Arabian Desert to the south and east. Edomite territory corresponds largely to the present-day southern Jordan and southern Israel. Edom is mentioned in various historical sources from the Late Bronze Age and Iron Age in the Levant. The Edomites appear in ancient records, such as Pharaoh Seti I's list, dated around 1215 BCE, and in the campaign chronicle of Ramses III between 1186 and 1155 BCE. Additionally, Edom is cited in the Bible, in the Tanakh. Archaeological research has shown that the kingdom of Edom flourished between the 13th and 8th centuries BCE, experiencing a decline that culminated in its destruction by the Babylonians in the 6th century BCE. After Edom's fall, the Edomites were displaced westward towards southern Judah, pressured by nomadic tribes from the east, including the Nabateans. These Arabs, related to the Edomites, are first recorded in Assyrian texts from the 4th century BCE and established a new kingdom in what was formerly Edom during the first half of the 2nd century BCE. Recent excavations indicate that Edomite settlement in the southern kingdom of Judah and parts of the Negev up to the Timnah region had begun even before Judah's destruction by Nebuchadnezzar II in 587 BCE. This Edomite expansion occurred both peacefully and through military means, taking advantage of Judah's vulnerability at the time. After being expelled from their original territory, the Edomites settled during the Persian period in an area stretching from the hills south of Judea to the north of Beer-sheva. In this new territory, the Edomites became known as Idumeans, a Greek adaptation of their ancient name. This region was called Idumea or Idumea in Greek and Latin, terms used in the Hellenistic and Roman periods and mentioned in the New Testament. In the 2nd century BCE, the Idumeans were forcibly converted to Judaism by the Hasmonean rulers, Jews who sought to consolidate their control over the territory. However, some scholars suggest that many Edomites may have adopted Judaism voluntarily, eventually embracing the Jewish faith and the God of Israel. Edom and Idumea, while related, represent distinct territories occupied by the same population at different historical periods. Ancient Edom, located in southern present-day Jordan, and Idumea, which encompassed areas farther north, closer to the kingdom of Judah. This shift reflects the Edomites' adaptation to new cultural and religious realities, as well as the territorial and identity transition that positioned the Idumeans as significant figures in Jewish history, especially during the time of Herod the Great, an Idumean who became king of Judea under Roman rule. For those unfamiliar, the term Edom literally means red. This name is linked to the same root as Adam and, according to biblical tradition, originates with Esau, the founder of the Edomite nation. Esau, the elder son of the Hebrew patriarch Isaac, was born with a reddish appearance. In a notable episode, he sold his birthright to his younger twin brother, Jacob, for a meal of red stew. Historically, the Edomites can be traced and associated with the ancient Shasu and Shutu, nomadic invaders mentioned in Egyptian records. These groups, known for their pastoral and itinerant lifestyle, were regarded as desert tribes that moved along the Sinai. A letter from an Egyptian scribe at a border fortress in Wadi Tumilat, dating to the reign of Pharaoh Merneptah, mentions the movement of Shasu tribes of Edom towards watering places within Egyptian territory. This document illustrates how the Edomites, in their earliest phase, interacted with neighboring powers and how their movements were closely monitored. The first Edomite settlements, likely serving as copper mining camps, emerged in the Iron Age around the 11th century BCE. Edomite occupation intensified in the late 8th century BCE, with the main excavated sites dating from the 8th to the 6th centuries BCE. The last clear mention of Edom as an independent state appears in an Assyrian inscription from 667 BCE, and Edom ceased to exist as an autonomous political entity after its conquest by Nabonidus, the Babylonian king, in the 6th century BCE. The term Edom is also recorded in Assyrian cuneiform inscriptions, appearing as Udumi or Udumu. Three of its kings are known from these sources: Kaus Malaka, who ruled during the time of Tiglath-Pileser III, circa 745 BCE, Aya Ramu, contemporary with Sennacherib, 705 BCE, and Kaus Gabri, who reigned during Esarhaddon's period, 680 BCE. Egyptian inscriptions also refer to the Aduma, indicating that, in certain periods, the Edomites expanded their possessions to the Egyptian border. After the destruction of the kingdom of Judah by the Babylonians, the Edomites migrated to the Hebron region, where they prospered for more than 4 centuries. This new land, termed Idumea by the Greeks and Romans, became the center of the remaining Edomite culture. Strabo, writing during the time of Jesus, suggested that the Idumeans, whom he attributed to Nabatean or similar origins, constituted a large portion of the population of western Judea. He linked the Idumeans to the Nabateans, who, in turn, were Ishmaelites and close relatives of the Edomites, sharing a common heritage. According to Strabo, the Idumeans integrated with the Jews of the region and adopted their customs, assimilating culturally over time. However, Strabo's view is not widely accepted in modern academia. Recent archaeological studies, led by Ezra Ben Yosef and Tom Levy in 2019, reaffirmed the existence of the Kingdom of Edom using a methodology known as the punctuated equilibrium model. This technique allowed for a detailed analysis of Edomite development dynamics, offering new insights into the kingdom's evolution and organization and distinguishing Edom from other regional peoples. Archaeologists primarily collected copper samples from the sites of Timnah and Fainan, located in the Arava Valley, Jordan, with dates ranging from 1300 to 800 BCE. The results indicate that the Egyptian pharaoh Shoshenq, known in the Bible as Shishak, who attacked Jerusalem in the 10th century BCE, likely encouraged trade and copper production in the region rather than destroying it. Professor Ben Yosef of Tel Aviv University stated, "Our new findings contradict the view of many archaeologists that the Arava was inhabited only by a loose alliance of tribes, supporting the biblical narrative that an established Edomite kingdom existed in this area." As for the religion of the ancient Edomites, little is known before their forced conversion to Judaism by the Hasmonean rulers. Epigraphic evidence suggests that Edom's national god was Kaus, or Kaush, frequently invoked in blessing formulas, and present in the personal names of ancient Edomites. As relatives of Levantine Semites and Arabs, the Edomites apparently worshipped deities from the Canaanite and Arab pantheons, including El, Baal, and Uzzah, revealing a rich religious heritage influenced by neighboring cultures. This religious diversity reflects the interaction and cultural syncretism that characterize the region, making Edom a convergence point for Semitic spiritual traditions. In some biblical traditions, there are records of Edomites worshipping the God of Israel. Archaeologically, evidence suggests that in certain periods, Edomites venerated Yahweh, the God of Israel, which may have occurred even before the formation of the Israelite nation. Before the Israelite monarchy, Edom already had kings, and many Edomites showed devotion to the God of Israel. A notable example is the biblical character Job, who is identified as an Edomite. Job's story clearly shows his faith in God, reinforcing the idea that Yahweh worship existed among the Edomites. Another example is Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, who also had Edomite ancestry, and according to the narrative, acknowledged the sovereignty of the God of Israel. These figures reflect a spiritual relationship between the Edomites and Yahweh, suggesting that worship of the God of Israel extended to different Semitic peoples, reinforcing a religious bond between Israel and Edom that preceded Israel's establishment as a kingdom. Today, it is believed that the modern descendants of the Edomites may include Palestinian and southern Jordanian Arabs, whose genetics trace back to the ancient inhabitants of Edom. Genetic and historical studies indicate that many Palestinians have roots that trace back to the Edomites, as do some southern Jordanians, whose genetic heritage seems to reflect a connection with Esau and the ancient people of Edom. Additionally, due to intermingling over centuries, even some modern Jews may have traces of Edomite origin in their lineage. Thank you to everyone who followed the content this far. May God bless you all, and see you soon.